What is up, guys? Wrestling Premiere is here. Out of all the guys that emerged in the mid to late 90s, Rob Van Dam was probably the most unique wrestler. He weighed 235 pounds. I don't believe he weighed that much at the time. His attires were unique as hell. He didn't have much similarities with other wrestlers, and you just can't hate the man. To put it simply, Rob Van Dam was one of a kind. Now, why the hell am I making this video? Well, I just finished watching his Icons documentary a few days ago and felt inspired to talk about him. So what makes RVD great? First up is his charisma. Just when he pops up in the arena, you're thinking to yourself, man, is that guy cool? It's so effortless to him because that's how he actually is. He's so damn likable without even trying. Like, there's a bunch of babyfaces that are desperate trying to get you to like them, but RVD just has to walk down to the ring without doing much, and he gets the fans to cheer for him. Even when RVD was a heel, the fans just gravitated towards him, and with that cool vibe that was surrounding him, he eventually turned into a good guy. Van Dam didn't need to utter much, yet was so gifted in the charisma area. I don't know how you make pointing at yourself cool, but RVD certainly knew how to do it. He had that unique type of charisma around him, and it didn't require a microphone to shine. Next up, mic skills. Now, many feel that this is Van Dam's weakest skill as a professional wrestler. Is it? Well, I believe so. I can count the number of great promos RVD had on one hand. That's all. It wasn't his best suit, however, Van Dam was occasionally hilarious, and it wasn't like people disliked him because talking wasn't his best skill. And another thing to mention is that I think one thing that masks that promo problem is his character. You know, he's for the most part himself in the mic. Look, Rob Van Dam nailed that down. Simply put, he knew that he had to stand on the sides horse singlets with those cool ass designs. Van Dam caught many's eyes with those colorful singlets. And it's pretty hard to say which one's my favorite. One thing for sure is that the orange skull design from 2001 and the red one from 2006 stand out as some of the most memorable. In ring, clearly Rob Van Dam's strongest suit. Without the wide array of moves and unique wrestling style to him, Van Dam's popularity takes a huge hit. He was so damn gifted in there. Why? Well, it was a combination of martial arts and high-flying moves. Add to that the uniqueness, the unorthodox nature of almost everything that he did in the ring. He had the size, speed, athleticism to make every move jaw-dropping. The wrestling style that Van Dam utilized in the late 90s to early 2000s was essentially unseen before. His moveset is one of the most innovative to come from the 90s, and I know for a fact that for those of you that played the WWE games like I did, you'd give your creator wrestler the moveset. You'd give him the RVD moveset for sure. As I said, he left everybody speechless with his insane athleticism, agility, speed, execution of moves people thought weren't possible, and he really was a special talent. On the other side of things, people feel that RVD lacked that in-ring psychology. It depends on what you're talking about. Selling was sometimes inconsistent, you know. But to me, Van Dam was logical in what he was doing. What I mean by that is RVD by nature was a showman. He relishes the crowd being entertained by his unorthodox offense. His selling of injuries, like I said, was inconsistent, but the way he sold moves was ridiculous. He made you think his neck ceased to exist with the DDT and pile driver sells. To me, it was one of the best in that department during the early 2000s. Many believe that Van Dam was a pioneer and one of the most innovative wrestlers from that era of pro wrestling. I don't think anybody will disagree. Character, well, he was himself for the most part. Down in ECW, who was a stoner who was shouting RVD 420 says I just smoked your ass. And obviously he wasn't going to be able to do that kind of stuff in WWE. Down there he was a laid back cool guy. And Van Dam didn't exactly evolve as a character. That's another negative. One thing unique about him was the fact that he wasn't the usual good guy who was angry at what went down. It was like, whatever. Like, whatever happens, happens. But yeah, like I said, Van Dam didn't exactly evolve until 2019, you know, when he turned heel, you know, the midlife crisis thing. The man was taking credit for a bunch of things, and if I remember, actually got some people worked up. He was saying stuff like, if I didn't exist, Kenny Omega, Daniel Bryan, and the Bucks would have made it. This guy got Impact Wrestling banned off Twitch. But other than that, he never really evolved that much. Best feud and match. Alright, what is RVD's best feud? In my opinion, I say Jerry Lynn. Matches those two had from 1999 to 2001 were some of the most ridiculous from that era. Both men were trying to one-up each other in the early going. There was some awesome counters from both men, cool spots. You just gotta watch the matches to appreciate the feud itself. And watching them a few years ago, I realized Jerry Lynn is a little too underappreciated. Honorable mention goes to the Sabu feud, which established RVD as a name in ECW. That could be the best in your eyes. I just personally think it's a Lynn series. In WWE, I'd say the Eddie Guerrero feud due to the fact that they were consistently good, and their ladder match remains one of the best to have aired on live TV. My personal favorite, though, and this wasn't really a feud, it was a John Cena one for nostalgic reasons, but best, I'd say it's the Eddie one. Now, in regards to his best match, again, some say it's one of the Jerry Lynn matches from '99, or a match from the Jeff Hardy series in 2001. For me, the best and favorite is the John Cena match at One Night Stand 2006 because of the memorability value the match has. The action was good, but the atmosphere increases the quality of the match tenfold. John Cena was everything ECW fans hated about WWE, whereas Van Dam was a gritty hero who had never gotten his due. I could go on and on and on about that classic, but this video ain't the time for it. Legacy and accomplishments. Regardless of how Van Dam's main event run went in WWE, he still managed to enjoy a very fruitful career. For one, he was the first and only man to hold the WWE and ECW titles simultaneously. He held the TNA World and X Division titles, captured the ECW tag titles with Sabu, held the World Television title for nearly 2 years, and showed that the title doesn't make the wrestler makes the title. He held the Hardcore title 4 times, and again, when Van Dam held it, it felt important. The feud with Jeff Hardy made the title feel like a big deal. Van Dam was also a 6-time Intercontinental Champion, a 3-time Tag Team Champion in WWE, Mr. Money in the Bank, and you can't go wrong with a resume like that. Like, I remember there was some people saying, oh, I don't know if Van Dam should be in the Hall of Fame. But when you look at that, like, surefire, right? Overall, Rob Van Dam was one of a kind. He influenced a generation with his incredible athleticism, speed, agility, and his entire wrestling style in general. Of course, RVD could have been bigger had WWE pushed him in the early 2000s, but the man is very content with how his career went, and when they did push him, we all know what happened. But regardless, RVD is a top 20 all-time favorite for me. So damn likable, so entertaining inside the ring. He had a unique charisma around him, and just thinking about it, nearly everything about him stood out. From the singlet to the split-legged moonsault he was executing. Simply put, Rob Van Dam was one of a kind, and I give him an 8 out of 10 because of the fact that he was one of the men responsible for changing wrestling with their style. He lacked the promo skill, but his unorthodox style and look really makes up for it in my opinion. Either way, nobody can deny the fact that Rob Van Dam is one of the most influential wrestlers of the past 25 years. What would you guys think of this video? I am open to constructive criticism. You know, I'm looking to improve this How Great Was series. I don't want to do those 20-minute videos where I talk about their entire career before grading them because I feel we can go into much detail about their wrestling, promo, charisma skills, and whatever. So yeah, who do you guys want next? I made one on Randy Savage, but I scrapped that video. I might eventually do it, but whatever you guys want, I'm down for it. That's the first video. Make sure you hit the split-legged moonsault on the like button, or perhaps the 5-star frog slash on the subscribe button. Peace. I'm out.